Hey there! Today I'm going to be doing a slightly different video. I'm going to be making a s'mores cake using this really cool book that I got for my birthday. And I've never had a s'more before, but I've heard they're good, so why not try making the cake?
To make the cake itself, you will need 225 grams of unsalted butter, 250 grams of plain flour mixed in with 75 grams of chocolate powder, 50 grams of cornflour, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 4.5 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, 350 grams of caster sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 4 lightly beaten eggs, and 300 millilitres of whole milk. All the quantities for the whipped ganache filling and the Swiss meringue will be below, along with the cake mixture quantities as well.
Okay, so before I started, I preheated the oven and I greased and lined 3 baking trays. They're all the same size. I don't have the same brand, as you can tell, but as long as they're the same size, they'll still work. I've also weighed out all my ingredients, so without any further ado, I'm going to start. Okay, first up, I'm going to be putting all the butter into my electric whisker. And I'm going to beat it until it's light. Okay, so once that's done, you need to add the sugar and continue to beat it until it is light and fluffy. So once that's finished, you want to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and then just continue whisking it until it's all combined. Whilst that's still going, you want to add the eggs a little bit at a time. Okay, so I've changed the attachment because the other one was annoying me, but I'm just going to keep whisking it and adding more. When that's all combined, turn it down to the lowest setting and start adding your flour and cocoa mix. Cinnamon, salt, and baking powder. Just combine that in a bowl quickly, and then putting the mixture back on a low setting, stir it in. So the final step of making the actual cake is to just decant this all into the 3 tins. So I'm going to do that now. And bake them for 30 to 35 minutes. I'll put them on for 30 minutes and then check on them and see where they're at. Okay, so it's been 30 minutes, so I'm just going to check if they're ready. Okay, so that comes out clean, so I'm going to take them all out and put them on a wire rack to cool down. So when the cake's out of the oven and cooling on the rack, it's time to move on to making the ganache filling. Now, I've got 75 grams of finely chopped dark chocolate in a heat-proof bowl, and in this pan, I've got cream and light brown sugar, and I'm just going to melt it together and then pour it over the chocolate and stir it into making the ganache. that's just come to the boil, so I'm just going to pour it over now. Chill for a bit, and then when that's almost set but not quite, I'm going to whisk it and then spread it on the cake. Okay, so the chocolate ganache has chilled and has firmed and thickened nicely, so I'm just going to whip that now. Two of the cakes to form two of the layers. Once you've finished doing the chocolate ganache, it's time to move on to the main event, which is the Swiss meringue topping and filling. So I've got my egg whites, which were about 4 eggs worth. I've got my sugar and cream of tartar. And I'm just going to mix them all together and melt them over a pan and then whisk them. So I'm just going to make sure that it's hot to touch. Yeah, that's pretty warm. So I'm just going to wash my hands. So next I'm going to use an electric whisker and just whisk it to soft peaks. Okay, so that's expanded so much, and I'm really hoping that it's done. I'm just going to test it now. I would say that's pretty much done. I'm going to start by just putting a thin layer of meringue mixture over top of the ganache. Topping on it on top of that to make the second layer. And I'm just going to repeat the process. You're all over me. Ooh. It's ready for its final layer. Right, now we're just going to cover the whole thing in the rest of the mixture before we put it in the oven for a few minutes just to golden it up a bit. low torch, but we don't have any fuel for ours. So we're putting it in the oven and we have no idea whether this is just going to absolutely fail. So if it fails, it was fun making it. Time for the big reveal. And nothing has changed. Oh yeah. Right, it's time for the big reveal, take 2. Nothing's happened. You know what? I'm going to take it out of the oven now. That is easier said than done. I'm really scared I'm going to drop it everywhere.
That would be so funny.
And it's going to brown a bit. You know what? I think we might have done okay. Okay, so I'm going to slice into it and see what happens. Ooh, that sounds so good.
Okay, so this is the finished cake. I'm going to take my first bite now and just see what happens, whether I like it or not. That is so good. Okay, so that's everything. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and click subscribe. Thank you very much to Katherine for filming. She's a freak, and I'll see you soon. Bye!
I'm gonna make this. I can't do introduction. So before I started, I wrote 3 baking round tube things. What are they called?
Trays. This is my Nigella moment. Well, your Nigella moment.
I'm Nigella.
I'm not going to stop filming. Pull a funny face.
Okay, so next you want 2 tablespoons. Tablespoons? Teaspoons. Actually, a cat.
Oh, what am I to do now?
I'll put them on.
Wait!
What?
Okay.
Why are you doing that?
I don't know, but you are a first time meringue maker.
Why do that?
Go around and say something into the camera.
This is meant to be the marshmallow layer.
This is meant to be the marshmallow
You
layer.
gave me so much
Pressure. I thought it would be a good shot.
It would be, but now it's just going to be a blooper.